Hello, everybody. Hope everybody had a yada 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 happy holidays, yada yada yada. Fuck your family, yada yada yada. I hope everybody had a great time. Got fat, got some presents they don't deserve. All that. Enough with this bullshit. Let's just go over the show so I can get this over with, so I can get fat. So we had a 3-hour televised program with no big stars in it. That's what I call prime time. Whatever. We're gonna start it off with a Miracle on 34th Street, because I don't know where we were on Raw. It had Elias Sampson facing off against it was Elias now because we like shortening names, because legitimacy and it's more simplistic. Against Bobby Lashley, they've been feuding for the past few weeks and it's been the most pointless feud because we understand and Elias was supposed to just get a one-up. He started off with a song and then they started their Miracle on 34th Street match with a few moves. Leo Rush was involved. He got hit on some freaking eggnog. It was the Dominator. It was really a poor match. It was barely any memorable spots. How am I supposed to take Bobby Lashley seriously if he keeps losing? Even in minuscule matches where it's supposed to show his growth. What have he shown and put to the table that Lashley ever been put in? He should have been on SmackDown. There could have been a lot of guys put on SmackDown on Raw, but I understand they're trying to put the smaller talent, even though there's Lashley. Nakamura should have been on Raw. Lashley could have been on SmackDown. There could have been a lot more, and it could have been more balanced, but they don't give a shit. That's why I don't take this seriously. We understand Elias is over with his guitar gimmick. Instead of him built up as the underdog, is the actual underdog, they let Lashley lose a couple times because Elias is over. Whatever. Next, we got an up. It was pretty enjoyable. The match was pretty okay. It was a pretty good match. There was some really smooth transitional moves. I understand how disinteresting the Revival wrestle, but if they can wrestle, these guys wrestle. And it's old school, it's smooth, it's more disciplined, it's way better, especially when you have Chad Gable in the mix, that he's a short dude, but you see a manhandle and he's incredibly gifted. I can understand why hardcore wrestling fans, or certain smarks, have an interest in the guy. Even in Bobby Roode, even though he's not that well known to the mainstream, he's also a great wrestler. I'm not calling them workers because everybody's a worker in professional wrestling. Depends on the type of talent that you spot up or the certain work rate that they can produce. Obviously, everybody has almost the exact equal amount of work rate. That makes no damn sense whenever I hear this crap. You are working 15-minute to 3-minute matches weekly. I think everybody has an equal amount of work rate to put the work in instead of certain assholes that hold on to a world championship and barely complete regularly. Like it's UFC in here. But this was an enjoyable match. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode gave it their all. It was a really enjoyable matchup, and it was a championship match. Even if they did, I understand these guys would like kick off show material, so this was forgettable. There was 2 title defenses, one against Natalia and Natalia and Ronda Rousey, one against Revival and Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. So this was an alright match. Next up was a triple threat match involving Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, and Dolph Ziggler. Was this for a number 1 contenders match? No, they just put it up because everybody had a grudge match. They didn't want to involve Dean Ambrose, even though he didn't have a matchup. This could have been interesting because Dean Ambrose has been turning heel and doing backhanded shit against Seth Rollins. Why not put him in a multi-man match if we're trying to discuss opportunity and diversity and all this bullcrap? I keep putting quotations. This is not going anywhere. But it's still, you don't understand. What are they doing for most of these guys in the wrestling in the main roster? You have 3 hours. You don't want to let championship opportunities fly against the window. If you have 3 men in a grudge match, why don't you put a number 1 contenders match up for grabs to make more up in the stakes? It's a 3-hour show. I don't want to watch a stupid grudge match. I ain't gonna go nowhere, so I can see this in a kickoff show and hear some more stupid rumors and waste all my time because I know how much Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler are they're pretty enjoyable performers, even though they lack any or other ring interest. They're alright performers, and if you want them holding the gold, fine. or else you want them to feud, fine. But let it have a reason. Let it have build-up. Let it have suspense. Not them having a random grudge match because they beat each other up a couple times backstage. And all because Baron Corbin literally benefited nobody since his time as GM. So I don't know what was the point of this entire feud to be a random triple threat match. Really. This is really what we're coming into. This is what WWE planned to improve. Absolutely nothing except to revitalize that they have a tag team division on SmackDown. I don't see nothing going into Bobby Lashley's build up to become a good heel. Why Leo Rush is still his manager. Why Paul Heyman is still the mouthpiece of Brock Lesnar. It's not going anywhere. It's not building up to a main event spot or anything. It's still going to be any other like old ass or stupid feud in the course of a main event show than Brock Lesnar, the main attraction. And then we have Finn Balor, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre that hasn't done shit. They've been feuding against each other. Dolph Ziggler been in the mid-card for a decade. He won the heavyweight title once and haven't rebounded since that stupid concussion. Drew McIntyre hasn't been crap. He has a good look. He looks intimidating as all hell, but what is that succumbing to this entire year? And it's Monday Night Raw, 3 hours. I'm going to give it hell, unlike SmackDown, that I at least give it light because it was Christmas. It is before Christmas. I don't give a damn. Because I want Raw to succeed. This is tough love. Because I don't want to see a show that I've been watching since I was a little kid turn into some minuscule pile of crap that no fans respect anymore. That's just me. And also other fans that don't take this crap seriously that I've been watching like since Ruthless Aggression to Attitude Era. Even in '95, they understand that whenever they watch a show now, they came from being excited that these guys gotta kick each other's asses to know this is a joke and it's for children. Wrestling isn't for only children, you dumb cucks. But this was an alright match. This was choreographed to hell. I understand they just wanted to build it up for just Finn Balor to win. So what was the point? That was pretty much it. Just for Finn Balor to win off an minuscule triple threat match that doesn't advance anybody. Then we had a big announcement of fucking Vince McMahon coming nuclear. He discussed several new changes. Next week, Drew McIntyre will face off against Dolph Ziggler in a steel cage match coming up next week. John Cena will be on Raw and SmackDown the next week. Whatever he's going to do is maybe going to address a rematch with Undertaker. Whatever your fucking sources tell you, I don't know. I don't care. John Cena's coming back, and it's literally the biggest draw you idiots ever have. Thanks nobody is a main event attraction or big star attraction. So luckily enough, you're grateful to have John Cena back. Thank God, and a women's tag team championship will be introduced. And a lack of a tag division and mere factions introduced. Why do you want to make a women's tag team? I've spoke about this in the past outside, because I understand if I spoke about this in my videos, it would be the most stupidest shit in my life I would talk about. Do I think a championship should be introduced? Another championship should be introduced to the women's division? While we already have women's championship for both Raw and SmackDown, even though shows like minuscule women being shown on SmackDown. So what's the point? If it's going to be a tag title, it got to be for both brands. If we're willing to have any source of consistency or at least intercourse with intercourse with any other superstars. So that's what Vince was trying to introduce. And I'm only excited about one of these things that they're doing. I don't give a fuck about Ziggler or McIntyre having a cage match. So Finn Balor fighting with them is absolutely pointless. Do promos. Please, please stop. I don't care. I mean, it's good to see Vince again, but anything else, I don't give a shit. Next up was supposed to be Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Amber Moon versus Mickie James, Alicia Fox, and Dana Brooke, that's back on the single scene after being with Titus Worldwide, is being their local hooker for a majority of the show, as what had been happening with Titus O'Neil and shit. Was this a match? No, this was not a good match. Everything you would come to mediocrity, a few sloppy spots, a double knee takedown that was so bad from Sasha Banks, talked about this before, and let me tell you before. The only positive going into the show, Nia Jax wasn't involved in any storyline coming into this. She wasn't involved in the women's title match. She wasn't involved in anything going on because there was nothing to fight about. There was no number one contenders. So, what I'm trying to get for this, anything else to Sasha Banks? I don't give a fuck. You were not a good wrestler. You were not interesting. Sasha Banks lost all credibility as soon as he went up to the main roster. No one cares about your boss gimmick. A boss gimmick, a kingpin gimmick, any certain title you need followers. That's how a boss gimmick works, you fucking retards on WWE. A boss gimmick is not because you got it from some stupid ass meme that you think a woman can take it seriously. And you think introducing a women's tag title is going to actually, you know, submerge some of your female competitors that haven't been popular with any of the WWE fans, not universe fans, a fan base, a very minuscule fan base that's dying out as soon as your televised ratings start pouring to absolute mediocrity that it can be 2011 Impact worthy. Sasha Banks sucks ass. If you can't do a double knee takedown that you've been doing for the past couple years you've been in the main roster, you're complete ass. Mickie James was trying to carry most of the wrestlers by a hole. That stupid backstabber over to a belly-to-belly slam is the most corny finisher I've ever seen in my life. I hate Alicia Fox. Why is she still in the company for this long? What the fuck does Ember Moon do? She's a cute black girl. She has a great finish. She has a cool finisher. It is so unnecessary, but it's cool at the same time. But anything else, there's not much in the Ember Moon that I'm really interested in, except I want to fuck her in real life. I'm going to jail. I really am going to jail. But still, it's just, it's just not the most compelling women's roster, unless you really put Natalya, that has this underdog gimmick, now with her father dying, and she haven't handled the brass ring for that much. And Ronda Rousey, that's coming out of the UFC and been one of the biggest draws and maybe the most talked about WWE wrestlers over the course of the year. And people have been building this up since 2015 when she made that appearance in WrestleMania 31. So this has been talked about for years now. And since she came back, I think she made a smooth transition into the main roster. So that's pretty much it. The only thing I want from her is that stupid entrance, her stupid apparel, her stupid talking, stupid mean faces that she makes to think that she's intimidating even a preteen. And then I'll be good. That's what you need. Sometimes you don't have to talk. You don't have to make friends to actually think that you're a good character. You don't need to be friends if you're trying to be a babyface. I thought people understood that. I thought really people understood that already, but they don't. That's why Sasha Banks and Bayley are in, fucking coming from consistently winning the women's title to mediocrity and not even a thought in Ronda Rousey's mind that these are number one contenders. Mickie James becoming a sideshow act, even though, when she came out, she was feuding with Alexa Bliss, and now they were friends, and now Alexa Bliss is still with an injury that's costing her the Riot Squad a complete joke. So why are you making this tag title? I don't understand. If there's only, minusculely, two factions on Raw, there's only, one faction on SmackDown. So, whatever this better be at least both brand exclusive for both Raw and SmackDown. So, I can forget about this shitty match that didn't go anywhere. Because we knew the baby faces were going to win anyway. That's all I'm going to say. And for all these stupid smarks, let me tell you something. All because they do a few smooth moves doesn't mean it's a good match. Take it as you want it. I want something that I can salivate and say, it was a fun match. I remember so many spots. Don't say, this is a fun match. Nice to see 6 women tag matches that don't rely on Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, or Sarah Logan for once. Either if you had the Riott Squad in the match, I don't give a damn. The Riott Squad are a complete joke to begin with, but so is Sasha Banks, Bayley, and fucking Ember Moon. I'm just saying, man. Whoever brings this crap up and thinking that the Riot Squad are the only bad parts of what makes Raw mediocre, you're completely missing the point of why you guys came from, you know, being one of the most talked about televised entertainment back in the late 90s to early 2000s when there was Raw, when there was NBA, NHL maybe when it's most popular, and I mean when it was popular at least to like some hillbillies, rednecks, a lot of rebels and Canadians. The NBA that was still popular at the time because Allen Iverson, a lot of stuff that also made WWE one of the alternatives for fans to watch if they weren't into that type of sport. And now fans are dwindling away to 1.2 viewership, and all because you guys had that one spark in the ratings over near the holidays. So that was maybe the reason because people stayed inside more to watch your show and swallow a bit of it. I don't need this crap. Next up was a promo involving Paul Heyman, of course, threatening with his sword, with a sort of choking walrus voice, trying to bring up that Brock Lesnar will be still the most dominant force in the WWE. How are you dominant if you barely show up and only beat the top guys in a dissatisfying faction? You beat a midget of Daniel Bryan, and it took Baron Corbin to, assist you and beat you from Braun Strowman. That's it. That's literally it. Past two matches have been a joke. Brock Lesnar got kicked in the dick, and he gave Braun Strowman like 5 F5s to take care of him, or 7 or something. I don't remember. The Crown Jewel was a shit pay-per-view, and I'm not reviewing that. I'm not wasting my time recapping that. I have to recap the rest of the year to bring up how shit the rest of the year was. So don't give me that. I have to waste my time. I have to look up sources. I have to look up a match. I gotta look up the full show to waste time on a pay-per-view that I watched and I hurt myself with. I tried making a reaction. I tried thinking, should I wait for Evolution or should I wait for Crown Jewel? Thank God I went the Evolution part, and that came from being my most viewed reaction video in the channel, so that's all I'm grateful for. Literally, this was just for Paul Heyman to put on something stupid and Braun Strowman to try to call out Brock Lesnar and warn him for the Royal Rumble that will be in a few weeks. That's literally it. Anything else for the show? We don't count any number one contenders matches. The only thing that you'll get is John Cena coming out in a stupid steel cage match with two men that have been feuding for like 3 weeks. And not one of this makes it personal, interesting, or at least compelling to watch. Maybe because you want to see Drew McIntyre kick the shit out of Dolph Ziggler, things he still fucking bumps like a gefilte fish. Anything else? The second one of the best matches out was Ronda Rousey and Natalya. This was a compelling match against two women that have been close for a while. Thanks, yeah, Ronda Rousey been fucking around with Natalya for a bit. It got personal. There was a few smooth moves. There was a good power bomb, decent head scissors by Ronda. She was trying so hard to see if she can equalize, try to equal her technician skills with Natalya. Even though we understand Natalia's more experienced, there was power bomb. This was an entertaining match, to say the least. So all I can say of this was an incredible match by Ronda Rousey, and one of her best matches to end off the year. And Ronda Rousey have been one of the most positive things. So thanks. She is, she doesn't have to talk a lot. She kicks ass. She doesn't fear anybody. She doesn't always have to say some backhanded comment. Always act like a snickering little 15-year-old that's trying to have a conversation, have an argument with his ex. It's literally just a battle against a wrestling match against two opponents with no interference. That's literally it. An entertaining match. That's it. That's all I wanted to see tonight. That night. That's all I wanted to see that night. That was literally it. No corny antics, no corny promos, just a match, and nothing succumbed about it except like a small little hug and a bit of sportsmanship for an entertaining match. Natalia got some good moves in there. I know this is still going to move into relevancy because we understand the last time Natalia was taken seriously back for the women's title, it was back on 2016, and she was facing off against Charlotte at, I think, Roadblock or Fastlane. Anything else, that was the last time she was like taken seriously, and she was given the cat gimmick and shit. I understand for most of the rest of the year, Natalia was really trying to get over the death of her dad and shit, and on on an out of kayfabe level, rest in peace to Jim the Anvil Neidhart, straight Hall of Famer, and in how the Riot Squad are shit, trying to bring up of death, Father Angle as recently as she died, and how relevant the Angle died as quickly as it ended in TLC, to just building her up to have a women's title match. This at least got Natalia a match. That's literally it. That's all they wanted to do at the end of the year. So this was a pretty good match. Next was Jinder Mahal versus Heath Slater. I think this ended by disqualification. And it ended up with just Ronda coming back so we can have a bit of a tag division. No one cared. That was it. For just Ronda to come back for a softcore moment because he got kids. Plus, we had these stupid Christmas moments involving the B Squad, and one of these guys both of them got drunk. Just stupid backstage segments with no source of comedy at all, or good comedy. You know, kids are smarter than that these days. Like TikTok, Vine, they're there for our more mature content. They're more used to mature comedy, and parents don't give a fuck anymore. Even if they're overweight, unsocial piles of crap. It's sad, really, how much WWE have lowered their standards and even making simple comedy substantial for a 3-hour show. I'm just saying, folks. This is not easy to sit through. And also a Dean Ambrose promo. That he's still feuding over all of this shit? That was my phone. So the main event was, of course, Baron Corbin against Seth Rollins. And Baron Corbin still wears that shit even though he's not even the GM anymore. I don't know why they don't want him to wear his old wrestling gear. That doesn't involve his receding hairline anymore, at least. For a serviceable match, no one cared. This show got a 4 out of 10. From the 2 enjoyable matches that I had, and it's the holiday season, so I'm gonna give it a pass. Near the end of the year, this is my last Raw and SmackDown reviews of 2018. I want to thank everybody. Hope everybody has a happy New Year's. I think Christmas. I think the NBA Christmas games will be coming up soon, and of course, my predictions for Week 17, who's going to be in the final wildcard spots for the playoffs coming next January. I want to thank everybody for, at least, even if it was a few seconds or a couple minutes, I want to thank everybody for watching my videos. It's been a blast. It's been maybe the most time I get to share my opinions, my creativity, just my love for sports and a lot of stuff that I like. So I'm grateful for anybody who had time to subscribe or had time to watch my videos. Thank you for watching.